Hi everyone, it's Adrienne Leah. I'm doing a reading. I'm not outside the house. I'm actually outside Wegmans, so the lighting is a little bit different because there's parking, or there's lights in the parking lot. And I tried the other light, but both were kind of making it look different. So I was going to get I didn't really need to get food right now, but I'm gonna get toilet wipes. Sorry, TMI. I like the store brand one. I also like Cottonelle. I like their wipes, and the scent for the store brands, I get the unscented, because sometimes when you get like the scented bathroom products, well, I guess the best way I would describe it at the moment is like it smells extra artificial, even though it's already expected to be artificial. But I'm okay with unscented, and they're basically half the price. So I feel like this will have more of an introduction, and then I'll go into the cards because it can kind of go in there too. But an update, I might be going to my brother's in a couple of days, and my godmother is having the house painted, and there's another room that she could put me in, but I'm like, well, I could ask my dad to ask my brother, because my brother, well, he doesn't really respond to me, so he responds to my dad. And also a little bit of a surprise for me that my parents will be visiting him, so it's not that much of a surprise that they're visiting him, but I'll be seeing my parents, and I haven't seen them in a couple of years, and I haven't seen my brother in a couple of years, even longer. So I think things should go smoothly. I say that. I actually got a little bit of a surprise for myself, because I feel that the universe is trying to do something, even though I'm not exactly getting all the universal information for my life in that way. And I was applying to maybe get another job to work a little more in the area, and then the next day, because my godbrother and the crew was here, somebody wasn't able to make it, so I was asked if I could fill in, and I did. So I have like it's super brief clips of like hearing the violin during this event, and for some people it might be one of those things where you would connect to people, or like business connections and so forth, but I was there just to be a helping hand, and if people had questions, I could answer their questions and direct them to different places, and so, or direct them in the venue. And I kind of felt like, well, maybe the universe is really standing firm on my vacation time, because I do work, and I've been doing more of some random things, but it's been helping. So my godbrother gave me basically $100 to work 2 hours and paid for my gas on top of that. So it was a good thing for me. And the other person, one of the people that works for my god brother, she was helping me with some things that I would help with too. So that was something that happened, and it wasn't anything alarming. I was there for what I needed to do, and then I left. So I wasn't there for anything really, other than to help. And it was kind of funny because at some moments, like when I was doing stuff, I was like thinking like, bro, how could you left me with this contraption, and I'm trying to, well, I was briefly told what to do with it, and I'm like, okay. But just to say that since I've been just having a little more me time and vacation time, I decided that I wanted to get a little extra for myself. So this is the Manic Panic dye in Hot Pink, and 15% of the profits go to charity. So it's good in that way, and also good because it's cruelty free and vegan. And when I was younger, I went to private school, and we weren't allowed to have our hair dyed. I had it maybe for one day, and then I was told I couldn't have it. It was a pink color, and I'm pretty sure it's this one, because there was like a cotton candy one, but I think it's the hot pink that I got. And I believe the idea behind it was that to not make the other students feel bad if they couldn't afford it. And I'm not sure how that explanation is, and I'm not saying it was incorrect, but it was that at that point elementary school. And for going to these types of schools, and I could be wrong, but a lot of the times you would normally just have to pay. Like my high school was a couple thousand a year, and that was also private school too. So I'll probably do that at my brother's house, and I'll probably do it like in the kitchen, because I don't think it'll stain as much as the bathroom. I learned that when I was staying at the hotel for a long time. And then I went back to my godmother's. That was after my lease ended, and then I was sticking around for an application, and then now I'm here. So my brother, he is funny because I had an IT tag. I'll show it like in a clip at some point, like on my other channel, but because my brother, he works, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, he works IT in Philadelphia. So he does all those things, and he's always been into technology, and he does act as a successor in a lot of ways to the family. And like when he would travel overseas with my dad and a cousin of ours, my dad would rely on them. And then like when we would go overseas, I don't know if you still had to do this, but my brother would like jailbreak the electronics so that you could use it overseas. And, he does stuff like, well, in elementary school, he was part of the student council. He was the president of different clubs in grade school, in high school, and in college. He's been a manager in some of the companies that he's worked at. So he keeps himself occupied with things. And the last time I saw him, I only saw him once, and I was staying at his place, and he when I saw him, he was coming back from work, and I was leaving after I stayed there for X amount of time. I don't even know how long I stayed, and that was it. So this definitely feels like a behind the scenes type of situation, and it almost feels like, for some reason, it almost feels like somebody calls out fraud to you, even though it might not be like correct. It's one of those things where you can see where the success is headed, or you have an idea of what the success is going to look like, because you have the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant will be like, the Major Arcana is more of like a faithful type of archetype, like that type of persona that you're taking on. That's the word that was coming up. And it looks like, shepherd type of energy, and there is a guidance, and it could be an unknown guidance, like if a dog, like a herding dog, herds the sheep. I'm not sure the amount of awareness that a sheep has for that, but it knows kind of what to do in those situations. You also have the Hanged Man and the Five of Swords in the obstacle, and the word that was just coming up is struggle, and they kind of contradict each other, because one is like still and one is kind of forward motion, and that could be like an expanded way of thinking with the Five of Swords. For some, it's like also knowing the truth that maybe is hidden to other people, and then eventually gets revealed. And another like combination of words is like licking your wounds, and there's a type of preparation, and there's idleness that comes with this. You have the Four of Cups to overcome the obstacle, and it can be those random things in life. It can be those odd jobs, or like those odd opportunities, or those encounters that you don't expect, when you randomly have this specific conversation at this specific time, and it kind of gives you maybe the optimism, or if it gives you random guidance that you didn't have before, and somehow it connects the dots more so than other times. And it also has like the vision of right and wrong, and it does feel like it's acting upon the judgment that you have, and it can be going against the grain, which can be understandable with this Four of Cups, because the Four of Cups isn't exactly a happy-go-lucky type of card. It feels like something as if an energy of like maybe your parents told you to do something and you're not really on board with it, but you're gonna do it anyway. But there's also, it's that energy, but it's also listening to yourself. And sometimes other people, I'm not saying that they're not in support of it, but they're not really seeing the vision of it. But there's also, um, losing is easy and winning takes bravery type of situation going on here. So it is a matter of the type of fight that there is, and this Four of Cups sees almost every obstacle in every way that somebody can say that this isn't, I'm not saying not worth it, but it's just so much of a struggle or so much of a fight that are you sure you want to get up and do this? But I do see something that's super fulfilling, because it's like really ultra fulfilling, because you have the Emperor, and the Emperor, it looks like who you gathered, almost like apostles, or the fellow people that, and the things around you that come together because you went with what you felt was right, and feeling the values that you hold dear. And sometimes we have to keep working those cycles, or working those types. I was getting boundaries, so sometimes we might have to move backwards and before we move forwards, to make sure that we're catching everything correctly, and maybe that we could have been missing, because this, it almost feels like this mission, it feels like it takes a personality of its own, and it takes like, it's almost like its own fan club or development of this type of organization, or just something that brings people together. And it could be the randomness of people, but somehow this idea just forms and it starts something. It is related to fire energy, just because it's related to Aries, and we entered Sagittarius season. In the past, it does look like with the Queen of Cups, but it looks like it was a little bit reversed. It's just not that usual for these readings, but the Queen of Cups, I don't know if I'm going to run out of battery or storage. The Queen of Cups, it kind of feels like someone, or the path that you were on, was trying to like put a flame out when it was supposed to be kept lit up. If that makes sense, like with the picture there, and it's waving the flag as high as you can wave it. And another phrase that's coming up is like white raven, that type of obstinance too. But there was like a mini clip that I was looking at of a white raven being accepted by a black raven, and honestly I don't even think that it needs to be accepted, and it's kind of being like unapologetic, and there's nothing that we can necessarily do about the type of person or the type of situation. It is what is there. So it is that licking the wounds and coming out and building that character from being pushed down, or to going against the grain, and maybe even not super intentionally going against the grain, but sometimes it's something that can't be helped, that we were like this. Like nobody asked to be in that situation, or asked to be the way that they are. And you also have this explaining the reading with the Star card, with the World card, both major arcana as well. And it goes to show that the reason why this becomes a success is when other people feel like certain things don't go together, or certain ideologies or ideas can't be manifested or created in that way. I was also getting the word neutralized, but it's realizing that, or doing the actions to make it seem like almost magic that yes, these can happen, these things can happen, and they can definitely become a reality. And it, like with the star or the star card, like with going into space, and you shoot for the stars, and it's definitely going to get you somewhere, regardless if you're going to get the exact vision that you're looking for. But there's an idea there. And quickly, you have this Ace of Swords with the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles. If I cut off, I'm sorry. Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. Not necessarily in a specific order, but it looks like the yellow sword going with the Queen of Swords. And there's also blue and yellow, not surprising, and I just noticed that because of the deck. It's the Glory to Ukraine Tarot. There does seem like there's progress, and the Queen of Swords does have that vision, and there's something blunt about it. And again, with the unapologetic energy and the White Raven, I would dub this like the White Raven energy. And almost like turning water into wine. The type of aging process too is something that's substantial, so not trying to make it what it was, but making it something that is suitable and exceeding those things in the present, and what more can we do for the future. There could be a power struggle with the Seven of Wands, but it seems like the Queen of Swords is not an archetype that backs down by any means, so I feel like she'll accept the challenge. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.